Hey lads, my name is Skychrew and welcome to Game Theory. This is a Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach theory, so this is another episode of Game Theory of FNAF Security Breach, second one I think. This episode is going to be called The SECRET Afton. So the SECRET Afton, I assume like obviously the game matpat said before that the Afton spirit is possessing Glamrock Freddy. So Freddy in Security Breach apparently has inside his system glitched out during the concert at the beginning of the game, that apparently there's some kind of animatronic child kind of on the way, like some kind of thing that like got released or isn't in the Pizzaplex, you know? That's why the spirit of Afton realized the connection in a way, and yeah, we'll see, maybe this is a family reunion like the thumbnail suggests. So let's check this out, lads. All links down below to matpat's channel, the Game Theorist, and to this channel, and yeah, and to original video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, there will be more reactions of Security Breach and in general the gameplay as well, and their animations and everything connected to Security Breach as a whole. Thank you lads, let's start this episode with a good note and end up with a good note, you know? Leave a like and subscribe, thank you very much, let's roll.
Gregory!
Gregory!
Do you see that bit of green spinach in your teeth?
Oh, he didn't clean good. Yikes.
You need to floss. You need to floss, Gregory.
Floss, Gregory. The Afton is not happy about it, clearly.
Well,
he's like,
this is embarrassing.
cringe, dude.
I'm gonna let you guys have this one, and I'll see you next
Bye.
game. I always come back, and you know the bit.
Always come back.
Did we just win?
No, we did not, superstar.
Superstar. Oh no, El Cringe. Ruining your childhood since
Internet.
2011.
Welcome to Game Theory,
Spooky.
the show that's proud to pick the nerdiest option available.
Anyone that picks Monty Golf is just a nerd.
Oh really?
Woo, Gator Golf! Joke's on you, Mark. Fazcam is OP. Plus, being a nerd
Oh,
allowed
really?
me to discover the secret daycare room and sister location room. So who's
Of
the
course.
nerd now?
So that's an amazing place then.
Me. It's still me. Last time
Oh,
we dove
no!
into the time
He
travel
admitted
vault
it,
that
dude.
is
No,
5
he
Nights at
admitted
Freddy's
it.
Security Breach, I walked away with some, let's just call them divisive conclusions.
Oh, really?
Basically, it was an episode with 3 separate theories packaged together.
Oh,
We
really?
proposed
Okay, now we
one,
know the
that
truth.
Glamrock Freddy wasn't just your average sentient animatronic, but
Why?
rather was possessed by the spirit of Michael
That's what I was
Afton,
saying
doing
at the start.
everything he can to protect Gregory. This one was generally well received, so cool, let's keep going. Why would Michael
Well
protect this
received.
random kid? Well, because 2, Gregory, whether
Is an
literally
animatronic.
or symbolically, is Michael's younger brother, FNAF 4's
The crying child who died, yes, in the
Started
bite of
losing
87?
people at
Was
this
that the
point,
bite of
but it
87?
was really theory number 3 that threw us for a loop, because there's a good bit of evidence in both the game
Oh,
and
really?
in the history of the franchise to suggest that 3, Gregory is a robot. The crying child's
Sadly.
consciousness literally transplanted into a robotic body
I
sometime
don't
after
know,
he
but
dies
maybe.
in the bite of 83.
The bite of 83.
Oh, and there were a lot of strong opinions on that, with some people really
much.
liking the theory, and others...
Trash
so much.
truth about
Suddenly I was
Sans.
covered by people saying that I had rushed it out just to ride the trend, or that it was my dumbest theory ever, to which I say no, Deadpool is Ernest Hemingway is my dumbest theory ever.
that's the
Closely
one.
followed by Wario being 10 feet tall. Anyway, the outcry was so
Hey.
huge that I ended up trending on Twitter because of it. You know, didn't get much better from there. Weird side note, later in the
So
same
it got
week, I was
worse.
trending again because a group of performers juggled to the
Ah,
song
yeah.
Megalovania during
Megalov-
an event
I
for
saw
none
this.
other than the
I saw
Pope.
this.
It only took
He
5
liked it.
years, my friends, but it looks like that Steam code I gave him for Undertale finally paid off.
They called me a madman.
Anyway, like I said, a lot of heated
Well, sure.
opinions on the last one, with Twitter basically boiling down this 18-minute long 4,000-word theory down
Oh,
to this
shoot.
single image. So, yeah, thanks for not including literally anything else from that last video. So before we get to the next theory all about Vanessa, let me just address some of the biggest
What could it
counterpoints I
be?
saw to the previous theory. Not because I'm convinced I'm right, far from it in fact, but because I think that the Gregory is
It's a
crying child
theory, that's the
currently
thing. It's
fits
not
the best
supposed to
with
be true.
everything
Maybe
the game
it
has
is, maybe
presented
it's
to us
not.
thus far. First, one of the key pieces of evidence last episode was this line right at the start of the game where Freddy says
What?
to Gregory,
I feel you are broken.
this, to me, was a clear connection back to the crying child from FNAF 4, where psychic friend Fredbear says to him, "You are broken." To
Oh
me,
my
that
God, that
speaks
is-
for itself. It's a parallel that's made stronger when you actually remember how that line gets delivered back in that game. There was
Oh, shoot, he's
really
looking
no
at
way
you.
of knowing back when FNAF 4 was released, but thanks to a secret room found in sister location, we know
Wait,
that psychic
what?
friend Fredbear is actually a plushie with a walkie-talkie inside of him. A walkie-talkie that allowed William Afton to scare and manipulate his youngest son. Father of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
Dad of the
Also
year.
know that
Amazing.
throughout
Did a
FNAF
good
4,
job,
all of
you know?
William's Afton's lines use the color FFFF57, a bright golden yellow.
Oh, now we know the
Golden yellow
color.
makes sense. But the iconic final lines of "You're broken, I will put you back together" actually use a different color, a lighter yellow, FFFFA0. Back
But
then,
does that
we
matter?
never really came to a satisfying explanation. Was it
But
a
does that
mistake?
matter?
Was it another spirit? Was it maybe the puppet? But now, 7 years of investigation later, we know for sure someone else is indeed talking here. Someone who, in sister location, is mistaken for his dad. Someone who
Oh,
turns
shoot, we got to
purple
see the
just
eye a
like
little
his
bit there.
dad. Someone who can't die like his dad, and someone who had the lines immediately prior apologizing to his
Well,
kid
sure.
brother, but when that didn't get through, decided to try comforting him
We're
through the
still
voice
your
of his
friends.
best friend. It's Michael Afton, represented by a lighter color of yellow, a color
Of
that
course.
symbolically connects him back to
He
his
don't know.
father. In short, we have Michael Afton and FNAF 4
So they
saying
have the
line,
same
"You're
color of
broken,"
text.
to his
Amazing.
brother through the voice of a Fredbear plush. And here in Security Breach, if we're right about all this, we once again have him saying the same line.
But the
"You're
text
broken,"
is white.
to his brother through the voice of another Freddy, this
Dunno.
time Glamrock Freddy. I personally think it's a really cool narrative connection between all these games. But a lot of people were quick to point out that there's dialogue in the game files that was cut from the final release. where
Interesting.
Freddy says
They
that
hacked the system
Gregory
already.
is bleeding. Specifically, he says,
Your arm is cut badly.
And-
I am detecting blood. You are injured.
this, for many
Bruh.
people, disproved that Gregory's an animatronic, and I actually have two things to say about that. First, when I've used cut lines of dialogue in the past, the internet has in no uncertain terms told me that I can't. But now apparently it's okay. Kinda inconsistent there, guys, and honestly I think cutting it, regardless of the reason, shows that it didn't fit the final creative intent of the game. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it's just
if that's the
ideas.
case, then I gotta bring this line up. A cut line of dialogue discovered by GB Aura Recharged in the game files. This one
What
is
the fuck
Freddy
is the
saying,
name of the user? Recharge.
It's
It's gonna be my channel name, Skychrew Recharged.
and it cuts off.
Oh,
Obviously,
I'm
it's
charged.
vague. It's kept very intentionally
I'm
vague,
not
but
judging,
it
I'm
also
just
shows that Gregory is special in a way that the
Mecha-clone.
other disappeared kids aren't.
How do
There's
they
a
do like this
reason
effect as well?
he's not
Kinda
in the
beautiful.
customer base. He's from somewhere specific that
Oh,
Freddy
shoot.
knows about. If I were to guess, I'd say like the underground pizzeria, but you know, that's just me hypothesizing. Adding to the Gregory is special idea is the fact that
I'm
Chica
special today. Where are
knows
we?
his name. She calls it out in the middle of the pizzeria. Strange detail for a kid who supposedly has no records in the system. Secondly, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but in the books, because everybody loves when I go back to that well, animatronic children do actually bleed. They can also cry and feel cold. Heck, they can even
weird.
feel hungry and eat. And you don't even have to go to
How?
the books for that one. You can just see it with Chica's pizza obsession in Security Breach. So to tell me that a robot child can't bleed? Yeah, I think you gotta really look at the franchise that we're talking about here. And for anyone who's confused about the timeline
Of course.
crying child still
Is that
being
lewd
alive,
moment.
the fact that
Everybody
he would be older
abused
at
that
this
shit.
point,
I'm
that could
telling you
actually be
right
the
now.
case. Animatronic children
Everybody
in the
went
books
crazy for that.
stay at whatever age they're built to be. Charlotte Emily
Yeah.
actually had 4 separate versions of herself built,
Well,
one
shoot.
for each stage of her life. So that way she could grow older, but she would just assume a new animatronic body
Oh, that's
each
weird.
time. So crying child still being young would actually make more sense here. And to everyone saying, why would he say stuff like,
Don't want to be crushed and twisted into a meat pretzel.
no, again, Charlotte in the books is shocked to learn her true nature in the final chapters. Her consciousness had been grafted onto a childhood toy while she was alive, and after her tragic death, had been placed inside of her robot
Sadly.
body to function as her memory. So for all she knew, she was just a normal human being just like anyone else. Is it dumb? Yeah, I'll say that it is. Is it complicated? Oh, yeah, absolutely. But is it giving us
Why
insight
is
into the
Markiplier that
rules
way?
that Scott and everyone who touches this universe operate by? Yes, it undeniably is. Lastly,
Too much
for
stuff,
everyone
yeah.
who spammed my feed with pictures of sad white boys in striped shirts saying that you had found the
Oh
crying
my
child,
god,
thank
come
you for
on,
helping
Undertale
cover the
Frisk,
lore. I get the joke.
frickin'
All white
Dreams
boys with
thing,
brown
dude.
hair and striped shirts
Oh,
are
see,
apparently the
I don't know,
crying
man.
child. But remember what series we're talking about here, friends.
Five
Visual
Nights at
design
Freddy's.
details have always been an important part of figuring these
The
games
creepy
out. Take a look at
creepsters.
Baby. During Sister Location, she has green eyes, but
Yes.
when you play her minigame, she has blue ones.
I didn't
At least until
notice
she
that.
kills
I
Elizabeth
didn't notice
Acton,
that.
Who, lo and behold, had green eyes.
I didn't
Superficial
thought
design
about
features
it.
like
What
this
the
help us
heck?
to connect the dots. Are they the be-all
I
and
did not
end-all
pay
of evidence?
attention to it.
No, but they
Oh my
do
God.
help support an argument. So a little
Weird,
brown-haired boy
man.
in shorts with a shirt and 2
Feels
stripes
weird.
seems sus.
Have you ever
Sus.
heard of Among Us, Gregory?
Speaking of eyes, for all the complaints about the last
Hey,
episode,
animation
no one
of
seemed
SFM.
to have any answers to what I see as the 2 strongest pieces of physical evidence here. Why does Gregory look different when Freddy gets Roxy's X-ray eyes?
You look different to me.
And secondly, why does Gregory's vision glitch when he sees Vanny?
We
Why
still
does he
don't
have
know.
such a weird visual reaction to her and to literally no other character in the game? Well, you hear that high
Shoot Vanny's fast.
Vanny skips and gets closer. It seems to be a disruptor that makes her invisible to animatronics with older model eyes. In the fire
Oh,
ending, Freddy,
that's
who
why.
couldn't see her at any point in the game,
Wow, damn.
explicitly says,
I can see you now. I have new eyes.
I mean, this is exactly how the much-hated sound illusion discs from
Yeah, but that means Roxanne saw her all this time?
Robots invisible and
Weird.
or look differently, but I'm already fighting a losing battle over here, so I'm just gonna gloss over that one. Anyway, to me, it reads as Gregory's robotic eyes being disrupted. I mean, why have CRT lines over the screen and not some other type of filter to show that his vision is getting disrupted? In fact, why have
It
the
is actually.
same CRT lines as the security cameras all around the Pizzaplex? But there's one final piece of evidence I'd like to talk about
Why?
to help solidify that previous theory before we move on. And that is the screenshot here of the final scene from the Savior
course.
ending, where you rescue Vanny from the control of glitch trap. And I use quotation marks here because there aren't any official sources giving names to the various endings. In the game files, they're just labeled as S1, S2, and S3 based on the number of stars that you get for them. It is worth
Yes.
noting, though, that this is the only 3-star ending that
The best
currently
ending.
exists, which seems to imply that it has some level of importance to it. But here we see our three main characters, Gregory, Freddy, and Vanessa, all sitting on a hill, which, as I pointed out last time, is very similar to the FNAF 6 gravestone hill. But that's not what's important here. What I want to point out is the ice cream. Gregory is holding a golden Freddy-shaped ice cream
So
with part of its head
what?
bitten off. If Gregory is not meant to parallel back to the crying child in any way, shape, or form, then this detail
Is this the
just
reference to the
mean
like
and
the
irresponsible.
the bite
This
stuff?
Ice cream is the crying child's story coming full circle. He was terrified of animatronics and ended up being bitten by the golden Freddy spring
Yes,
suit.
sadly.
But now he's the one sitting on a hill taking a big old bite out of golden
Yeah,
Freddy.
figurine.
That is not me reading too much into this. That is me lightly interpreting a very clear image that was
That
put
is animatronic, the
into
child,
game
crying
by the
child,
designers.
yes.
It is barely even subtle. And despite him wearing a blue shirt in most of the endings, here his shirt is colored purple. Just
Purple.
like his father's signature color. Couple that with literally everything
I mean, yes,
else,
okay,
his
you
lack
proved
of
your
records,
point.
The fact that he goes into the charging station. So I stand by my theory that Gregory is an animatronic of the crying child. Is it a perfect answer? No. Do I love the fact that it complicates the lore even more? No. But does it answer the most questions with the evidence that we have? I believe it does.
I mean,
That's
he's
a heck of
did
a
his
lot
best.
better than Fazgoo. But now, 4 pages into this episode, let's actually stop to talk about Vanessa, shall we? Last episode I made
okay.
a passing statement about how this final image felt to me like the 3 Afton children getting reunited. Crying child, Michael, and Elizabeth Afton, William's daughter that done got scooped by Baby back in sister location. It's a scene that, to me, feels like the narrative
Scooped.
finally giving them a sense of closure after they quite literally die as a result of their dad's evil deeds. Last time I briefly made mention of Vanessa's blonde hair and green eyes, which is the same as Elizabeth. And here, in this ending, we actually see 2 scenes of her wearing the signature Afton purple. Even the ice cream cone, as opposed to something like Gregory's novelty pop, is a potential callback to her death, where Baby delivered an ice cream cone to her before she did the scoop. And when you look at the connections between these 2 characters,
Well, sure.
it's more than just a couple of visual
That scoop was
similarities. The
meant,
biggest
like,
secret
fatal, I
in
gotta
Security Breach
say.
right now is a series of 16 retro CDs, invisible collectibles that only Freddy can see, hidden in
What?
every obscure corner of the game's map. Then, to play these things, you actually need to have also found the secret sister location room that we talked about
Weird.
last time. Now, these CDs are, they're problematic. They open up a whole separate can of worms. They're recordings of therapy sessions following 2 separate individuals, patient
did it.
46 and patient 71. The exact identity of patient
heck,
46
bro, what
a
is
theory
this?
for next time that will absolutely launch us into yet another flame war, but early in patient 71's tapes, we learned that it's actually Vanessa speaking.
Hello, Vanessa. How are you feeling today?
These are recordings from therapy sessions that Vanessa had while
Oh,
she
weird.
was at the job for the FNAF AR game's special delivery. She mentions speaking to a man named Lewis on several occasions.
There's a story in
discovered
FNAF
that he's
AR?
also buying fake fur, both of which
Wait,
are things
FNAF
we see
AR,
in those
augmented
from
reality.
FNAF AR.
That was
But the
supposed to be
last
just for
Vanessa's
fun,
recordings,
to send
she's
animatronics
leaving
to your
that
friends.
job
Has a
for new
story?
job somewhere else, most likely the job of security
What?
guard here in Security Breach.
I'm needed somewhere.
I thought it's just fun that was made. Of course, it's not
Stuff,
officially,
shall we?
but
In Vanessa's second tape,
just
we
to
learn
enjoy
about
it
a
like this.
custody battle that happened between her parents. Her dad won using manipulative tactics, forcing his daughter to falsely testify.
Your dad made you follow instructions, didn't he? I'm talking about the custody battle between your mum and your dad. Your dad didn't play fair, did he? He used to make your mum look bad in court.
After losing custody of her daughter, Vanessa's mother, well, here's what the tape does.
I know your mum after she lost the custody case.
It glitches, implying that her mother ended her own life, which would explain why
Oh my
Mrs.
God.
Afton is missing from all the games, and why she may have wound up being rebuilt as the motherly Ballora in Sister Location. A robot that,
Truly?
wouldn't you know
Is that
it,
true?
sings about her inescapable depression now that the walls of her house are empty.
Are you
All I see is an empty room. No more joy, an empty
Where did you get this file? Where did you get
We
this
also hear
sound
Vanessa
file?
lines like
Prove
this.
to me where did you take
like
this?
Apparently, the janitor on this floor has a garden and has been putting bouquets in the office.
Weird, man.
Years.
It was very
Vanessa
weird.
likes flowers. A small detail, but you know me, small details could often be the biggest evidence. Who else do we know in the series that has an affinity for flowers? Well, think back to FNAF 4. Remember this random empty bedroom with a huge portrait of a flower on the wall? It's Elizabeth's room before she got scooped. Then you have Vanessa lines like this.
Lots of people know more than I do. Sometimes I need to listen.
Now, this might be a stretch, but I believe it's referring to when Elizabeth got scooped by Baby. Her dad had repeatedly and explicitly warned her not to go near Baby, but she didn't listen. And in doing so, she ended up getting herself trapped inside the animatronic.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad death.
I wanted to watch your show too. I don't know why you would.
How do you get these files, man? Fucking
Vanessa
explain.
also says in her tapes that she doesn't like
This
dark
could be made up,
basements.
from what
have
I know,
space
man.
in my basement. Maybe I could come up with something you could learn to do.
I don't like dark basements.
It's another line that seems to be pointing us in the direction of Baby, who was trapped underground for years in Circus Baby's entertainment and rentals, looking for a way back to the surface.
I've been out before, but they always put me back. They always put us back inside. There's nowhere for us to hide here. There is nowhere to go.
And to put one final nail in this coffin, right back in the second CD, we actually learn the name of Vanessa's father.
I feel like I know your dad, too. Bill, right?
Bill is short for William. That's just the game trolling us with a coincidence,
How?
right? Wrong. You see, going back to FNAF AR, we learned that Vanessa's last name begins with an A. From there, we can connect the dots.
Vanessa
Bill
Afton.
A, William Afton. But didn't Baby burn at the end of FNAF 6?
Yes.
Well, yeah, she did. But you see how effective that was.
How are you not dead? I mean, to be fair, the thought that burning him is going to work is stupid, because people have tried to burn him to death no less than 3 times in this franchise.
Ah, true.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't work.
But here's the kicker. At the end of the game, we meet the Blob.
Blob,
a
yes.
weird tentacle monster made up of
Finally,
all
we
the original
reached that
members of
point.
the series. FNAF 1's Chica and Bonnie, FNAF 2's Mangle, Sister Location's Funtime Freddy, a random endoskeleton crawling out of the bottom, the puppet mask without tears, I might point out, and Baby's face. Now, don't get me started on this being Baby's original face and not Scrap Baby's updated look where she came back to FNAF 6 in. I have words about that. Anyway, look at them all here on screen. You notice anything strange? Most of the animatronics
Have red eyes.
are lit up. Funtime
Yes.
Freddy, Chica, Mangle, even this random endoskeleton at the bottom. But
Yeah.
now take a look back at Baby's mask.
It's not.
The eyes are blacked out. So although the Blob has absorbed Baby's body during the burning down of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place, her spirit, the spirit of Elizabeth Afton, is no longer present. It is unaccounted for. It is on the loose. And as
Weird.
such, potentially at large within the game. Is she, in some way, Vanessa? And if so, how? The truth
we know?
is, I don't know. This game has got my brain in so many knots, I might as well be a sailboat. I don't think there's any evidence to support any conclusion at this point in time. But I do know that this is what the evidence is heavily pointing us towards. The design similarities, the missing spirit, the purple color, the ice cream, the voice lines, the personality traits, and again, the narrative theme of 3 Afton kids reuniting and moving on after a traumatic past. It
We'll
gives
see,
everyone this nice full circle ending, even if it's only meant to be symbolic. And the screen really does feel like it's the end, finally, for these 3 characters. Maybe
What's
time
next?
we'll finally see some new faces. So enough about them, we're moving past those 3. There's still other mysteries that we have to solve here. What happened to Glamrock Bonnie? Who is Patient 46 and why are they here? What's the deal with that room full of post-it notes?
Ah,
you
yeah,
forgot about
true.
that one, didn't you? It's important. And did you happen to notice the other missing animatronic
What?
from this game? Because I certainly did, and I think they might be hiding in plain sight. So next time, we get to cover some mysteries that don't require us talking about dead characters getting rebuilt into robots. Scratch that, we're talking about William Afton. That's kind of unavoidable at this point. Oh, this franchise is so ridiculous. Anyway, next time, we're gonna sweep up a few other mysteries as we try to make more sense out of the game that quite literally threw everything against the wall to see what would stick. Speaking of things sticking on walls, why don't you spice up your decor with some 80s-tastic magnetic posters that stick on your walls with today's sponsor, Displate. We brutally tear apart in this game. These metal posters are incredible technology. Description below and click the link. You can.
Anyways, let's hope you enjoyed this smaller action. If it, like, I think matpat has a good point there, but some of the stuff I have some like confusions in there. You know, one of them being, how did he find those recordings of babies speaking? I was shocked today that I did not know that in sister location that the eyes of Circus Baby in the game after you finish the day is actually freaking blue, not green, because yes, the kid, the girl had the green eyes, yet Circus Baby had blue. Weird. Do you think the eyes change when you kill a victim? I don't know, that's weird to me. Maybe she absorbed the soul and now the soul is trapped inside the Circus Baby. That's how the eyes became green. That's what I think. Anyways, let's hope you enjoyed this small reaction. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, share, share, Kent, friends about the channel, and I'll see you all soon in another video. Also, join my new Minecraft server. It's gonna be in the description, or check yesterday's video. Be cool, that's the awesome. Thanks for watching.
Hair and striped shirts are apparently the crying child, but remember what series we're talking about here, friends. Visual design details have always been an important part of figuring these games out. Take a look at Baby. During sister location, she has green eyes, but when you play her minigame, she has blue ones. At least until she kills Elizabeth Afton, who, lo and behold, had green eyes. Super